strawberry jars, the simple and the humble, the flower pot on a potter's wheel today in 15 pounds. I am Jeffrey Rokoha. This is my potter's journal, and this is my potter's journal. I've just completed a plan that I had sketched out and thought about for a long time to make 50 flower pots. I started with 2 pounds of clay. Okay, worked up to 6 pounds of clay. Moved on to 9 pounds of clay. Okay, in today's video, we will go up to 15. And I'll just give you a little hint. I only did 3. I did at least 10 in the other sizes. Only did 3 of the 15. No camera on the first one. I just wanted to see how it would go, so you get a little comfortable with it. Second one. Okay, the camera was on. And the pot moved all over the place. I almost lost it, but not quite. And then the third one, it threw beautifully, whether I knew what I was doing or not. Okay, went really nice. Camera cut out in the middle, so you'll have to see the bad one. Okay, and Brutus, you want to go out and take a look around? Okay. The other thing in this series of videos, this will be a victory lap in a sense. I've also done a series of, well, pots to hydrate the gardener in the garden and pots to water the plant. Looks like they're all out of here right now. So we will move up to the next size. The other thing I've been wanting to try. There are still about, I forget how many pounds of clay left. This is something from a flea market I found. Can potters make something like this? Can a potter make a strawberry jar? Well, I have just enough of clay to try 3 of these too. This was an afterthought, so I'll just show you the finishing up on that. That'll be a project maybe for next year to do in a big way. All right, let's see what's going on in the studio today. we all know the pots shrink in the firing, but did you think the bigger they are, the more you notice they shrink? There are the 15-pound ones before firing, and then after, okay, it shrunk down to look very close to the 9-pound. What happened to all the work? It shrunk. And here's something I will do next year at 3 pounds. Strawberry jars. Here's some that I found in a yard sale. Okay, and I've got one here at 8 pounds. So big batch of them maybe next year. So here's something they don't teach you. I cut little openings. I believe you just push the top part back and just like I would think, making my scalloped rims, pulling it out, or like making a spout. Wow. Here's something they don't teach you. Okay, push the top in, and I think it's important that I cut a little opening to get the sides and the corners formed, because on this one I just cut a slit straight across, and that meant over here and here it could be a place where it might crack in the firing. So, and this is something that okay, once upon a time somebody made, and probably somewhere somebody must still make these, zillions of them, and they had to have been done very fast, or I guess you get very skilled at doing this. Okay, and it is time for a victory lap. I've only got half of them in here for the market. So we've got the little ones back there. They fit perfectly in a crate. There are 5 of each size, including some individual things, a couple of faux bois, and a few that I've got sunflowers and roses on. Okay, we will put the shrubs on this other side and some nursery plants on the top shelf. Okay, so there we go, the 15 pounds of clay. You know, I only did 3 of these. I wish I'd done 5 to get more comfortable with it. I've been watching videos of big wear turners, flower pot makers like Gabrielle Nichols and Guy Wolf. And here's something, develop a plan and carry it out. Not only has it been in this year's Potter Journal, here's one from 2017. I'd actually sketched a series of these out back then, so it took me years to carry out the plan. Here we go. This is the finished color on strawberry jars. I used 2 clays. I used number 103 and 104. One was with grog and one was without from Standard Ceramics. In the end, I liked the without better because I think some of the details got lost with the grog and the clay. So a little bit of technical bits, as well as some of the commercial ones like this are kind of rough, especially on the inside. A kid could put their finger in there and actually get cut, or anybody could really. So I took my hand, the V right there, and it's easy to smooth out the outside. But the next day when it stiffened up a little bit, I think I took a sponge and rounded off the inside, at least so there wasn't anything sharp to cut on. Big potteries can get away with it, and commercial potteries, but I don't think we can. So, victory lap. I will return to this next year. Probably make a big series of these. We'll see what else I could do. You know what? Stop back and see what's going on in the studio next week and next year.